to what we have now. And again, if you try to compare, then we had a team that was not so much concentrated on two individual players. Okay, we used to get goals even from the midfield and the likes, but now it's like the team is built on two players. That is Barbara.
Maybe that makes me agree with Peter when he says Nora has no plan, because she had all these players. She had everyone at her disposal. For example, why would you play Natura on the right position when you have players like Martha Tembo sitting on the bench? And then if Margaret is not at her best, why not push? You have Pauline Zulu, who was sitting on the bench.
We also had Judith Soko. I don't even know why she was not part of.
So, who has been sitting on the tournament the whole time? On the bench the whole time of the tournament. So maybe she didn't have a plan.
Yeah, you guys, I think here we just need to be sincere. I've never seen a team that depends on two players. I've never seen it winning the games. So Zambia at the moment, we are just depending on two players. Why am I saying so? Look at how the game was played yesterday. Nigeria was playing as a team. Zambia was playing as individuals. I'm telling you, even after the game, I don't think Barbara slept. She was so tired because she was just running all over. I was disappointed a bit with Grace Chanda. She has been there with the national team for a longer time, but all the passes that she gave were straight. First half, Nigeria had 3 shots at goal. They scored 2. Zambia had 0. They scored 0.
Yeah,
so
match.
you know, this is what I'm saying. Zambia is too much depending on individual players. If Barbara is not, look at Kundananji yesterday. If I were a coach, I think I was even going to substitute her or change her position. She was not there. Why? It's because of the system that Nora is using.
Yeah, Kennedy, my argument is this. If for example, if you have Bruce, who used the same players that performed against, we had tough opponents last time we played the WAFCON. Remember, we began with Cameroon. It was a very
even
tough.
South Africa, it was better for them to win us. We said
exactly.
Just a free
look at the opposition that we faced then. We had the same players with same quality, but now we can even argue to say we have better quality because the Chipasulas that we are mentioning were only pushed in the senior team just a few months ago. So she had a wider pool of selection. So I agree with Peter when he says she didn't have a plan. You have a wider pool, but you are failing to use your players.
Again, when we look at the team which played at the AFCON, where we beat Nigeria, we should not even think like we beat Nigeria, because when we went to 3rd and 4th place, their best players were not most of them were not part of that. But the difference is when we went to the AFCON with the Blues Moapes team, we depended on the team spirit. A cohesion.
Yes.
Okay, those girls have been together for a long time, and we're going there. We never had the Kundananji. We never had the Barbara band.
We didn't have Barbara.
We had the girls who played as a team.
Now imagine if Bruce had Barbara and Kundananji.
For example, I think this goes to all the Zambians. You remember how all the people, Zambians especially, we stood against Bruce. All the Zambians.
Yes.
Why am I saying all the Zambians? Because I'm also included. You see what I mean? It would be very unfair for me to say, no, I never supported Babru's exit. Everyone was saying, no, look at Babrusi. We were comparing like when we went to World Cup or the Olympics, the team that beat us. So when you look at Nora, to me, all the speeches that she was giving, it's like 4 legs, me, I'm proposing a girl. You guys, I'll cheat here and there. So to me, when you look at even how she's playing, you guys, let's start even from the goalkeeper. That goalkeeper, why all the goals were going in? She's a line goalkeeper. She was not moving out of the goal. So she's just a line as if someone is about to take a penalty. You see what I mean? So all the departments, to me, technically, we have failed. The technical that went with Nora, it has failed us, definitely. So but Bruce now, he has become as a hero. So the best thing that we should just do now, you guys, Bruce is our man. We still need Bruce. You see what I mean? This is what I'm saying. In Tonga, there's what we say. Ichi nijipandus, meaning an odd handle for a hoy.
Yes.
So don't throw it away. Because in an event where a new one fails, you still go back to it. So definitely, you guys, if you want to progress to other better tournaments, but Bruce, we need him.
Okay, now Sean joins us. Okay, Mo, you are itching with a thought. Before Sean comes in.
I think I wanted to somehow agree with him. A point where he mentioned, I think when we went there with Bruce Mwape, we had most of the players at their best. But right now, he has mentioned Grace Chanda. Grace Chanda, I think for me personally, she wasn't even not supposed to be at that particular tournament. If you look at, because she's coming from an injury, and I think if you count the number of games that she played at her club, she was usually coming in as a substitution.
The whole last year,
yes,
she never played.
Yes, okay. And next, we talk about Margaret Belem. How many games did she play? And again, if you look at her form, she hasn't been at her best. But I think when you compare Grace Chanda then, Margaret Belemu then, and especially the goalkeeping department, that has let us down in so many, I think in the so many games that we have played so far. And you compare the goalkeeping department that we had then during the reign of Bruce Mwape, I think you can clearly see that there is a huge difference now and then. So obviously it's about player selection. We need to pick players based on merit, players who are performing, starting with their at their national clubs, and like picking players because of the name or because of the past record which they had. Yeah.
Okay, so Sean.
Yeah.
The 5-0 bashing.
5-0 bashing.
It even
Wow.
made you to I can see you are not yourself. You might have slept late.
No, actually, you're right. It's
He ran away,
because
I
couldn't handle it. You know, the moment, like halftime, to me, I was like, okay, now we are done, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately speaking, like you've put it, not as technicality have really like failed us for real. If you saw the body language of the players yesterday, it was like they were just in there just to fulfill the fixture.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? The goalkeeper. We talked about the goalkeeper. I think for the past few weeks on this for and many other. We knew to say like, okay, we're going for this tournament of this magnitude. Number one, they could have worked on her weight. Okay. Two, I think there could have been better options than the goalkeeper that we had. Truthfully speaking. And then coming to the defensive, department, they did not do their job. The midfield did not do their job. Midfield, you lose the midfield, you lose the game.
Yeah.
Truthfully speaking, you lose the midfield, you lose the game. The defenders exposed the goalkeeper in as much as she was inadequate herself. Because why? Some goals were just silly the way they went in. You see what I mean? So now at the end of the day, like you put it, but Bruce right now is a hero. Everybody on social media, actually yesterday he was trending. If you check socials, and everybody.
The way he was trending when we chased him.
Exactly. Yes, he was trending yesterday. He was like, people are using his old pictures, him smiling, Bruce right now. So I think at the end of the day, we need to go back to the drawing board. And I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. I feel some of the players need to be let go, truthfully speaking. Because look at even the strikers. We have prolific strikers. Kundananji, Barbara Banda, and you could tell to say like their body language was like, okay, now I think this is it, we are done, we're going home.
But can I just say one point? If you look at even the Nigerian team, the coach, I think a day before, they asked him, and on the other blogger, the other guys were saying, no, look at the world class Barbara Banda and Kundananji. That guy said, we are studying Zambia player by player. So the first thing that they worked on us was just to cut supply.
Cut supply. They cut out supply.
And it worked for them.
Kennedy, I'll tell you this. There was no actually supply to cut out yesterday. Let's just face it. I didn't see any. I don't know, maybe you guys did, but I didn't see any.
Kenneth, what they did, they noticed that our weakness is in the midfield.
Yes, they capitalized on
so
that.
they had put, I think they used, a 3-4. Yes. They had put 4 midfielders there. So and they did mark one-on-one the Zambian midfielders.
We lost the game in the midfield.
Every time they have a pass, they miss a pass.
This is what I'm saying. Nigeria studied Zambia.
Yes.
Zambia did
What?
no studies.
No.
They just said it's that just shown you are just waking up and say I'm going to write an exam because you knew how you performed 5 years
Yes.
ago.
You know, again, just come back to the Congo game. Before Congo game, we need psychologists in these teams because we knew the table the way it was. And after going to that game, the girls was both to cycle. Guys, whatever we meet, we are going to meet Nigeria if we come second. So let's put more goals. That's the chance we had to put more goals
To avoid meeting Nigeria. Yes.
Because
But then again,
it's not about meeting being scared, because even Nigeria there, it was not known if they're going to be on top, they're going to be on second, because it was a close group in that group. But we are supposed to cycle the girls. And if you're going to Nigeria, we are going to beat. But the Zambian girls, all they knew is we beat in Nigeria. We bet we won at the
Some years back.
We won at
Exactly.
the But look at the last years. How many goals has Nigeria passed Zambia? 6-0,
Exactly.
6-1, 4-1. We came to win that one game, you know, and made us to say we are beating Nigeria. Every Zambian was saying Zambia go, you know. But truth is speaking,
I did not say something.
Zambia from the tournament when it started,
The performance has been bad.
I think
because
now you're
for-
agreeing with me when
Yeah.
I said player per player, Nigeria is far much better than
And-
us.
and they
Except for
started
Barbara
about
Banda
that.
and yes, of course.
Yes.
I think even each team that we face right now, they would have known how we play. They know to say, okay, Zambia's style of play is okay. If they have the ball at the back, they will look at where is Rachel Kundananje. They will look at where is Barbara Banda. That's it.
That's it.
So it's very easy for the opponents to study us and to plan ahead.
And if
And
on
I
top
think
of that,
for us-
knowing the weaknesses. Okay, the weaknesses are in the defensive midfield and
And
also
the
the
goalkeeper.
goalkeeping department.
But you see, gentlemen, we also have to be truthful here, because we had better players on the bench
Exactly. That's
that
what I'm
were
saying.
supposed to help us in midfield. We are talking about midfield. We needed Everin Katongo to play that game.
To start.
Yeah, to start. We needed, at the back, I said we needed Pauline Zulu to partner with Lucio Momwemba. And then probably Martha Tembo, maybe
Tembo,
because
yeah.
she was injured in the other game, but obviously we needed her.
So
in-
now, Folex, look at it this way. This is what we mean to say, like, the technicality. That's the technicality, Nora's technicality. It is what has failed us. Because why? You have these players that you've mentioned, and then you keep them on the bench. For what? The game is won with the first strongest 11 that you put in.
Okay.
Sometimes, yes, it can work where you bring them up as super sub, they change the game. But how are you going to change the game when you're down by 3-4 goals
Okay,
to nil
okay.
by halftime?
Maybe let me just come
You
up
see?
with this point. You remember when we played against Senegal?
Yeah.
You know, if you are just objective, do you know that we struggled to win?
yes,
Yes, of course. Yes,
Yes, we
Yes,
struggled
but
in all departments.
most of the people, they don't want to accept that.
No, we struggled.
So now,
They score, we
listen,
score.
Katong was introduced. She changed the game, isn't it? So when a substitute is changing a game, the next last game, we are supposed to start here.
To start
The
here,
problem,
exactly,
this
yes.
is what I always say. When you go for a war, make sure you have got enough ammunition and
Yes.
you put the best. You get my point? Whenever I hit you, Sean, I should make sure that I knock you out with the first punch.
Exactly.
Because I don't know how resilient you are going to
you are
become.
going to
This
respond.
is what happens.
And I think just to agree with what Sean has mentioned, if you look at Nigeria, they had Oshola on the bench
Yes.
because obviously they knew to say maybe she's not at her best.
Exactly.
And I think that is what we
And this
could have
tournament,
done.
yeah, she's not been at her
Priska
best.
Chilufya,
But the field
Grace
goal, she
Chanda,
will contribute.
Yes.
and I think even Irene Nungu,
Even Irene Nungu.
even the goalkeeper, they haven't been at their best. So there were so many passengers in that team. We could have benched them and probably introduced the young lads.
Yes.
Those
The
who are
players
hungry
who have
for-
been,
for
yes,
success,
those who are
yes.
hungry for success, the players who've been performing at their respective clubs. But for us, like I mentioned, we went for past glory, history, and of course, picking players based on names. And I think that is one of the things that led to us exiting early at this particular tournament. And I believe for me, we could have gone, I think, even far. If at all, we just use players based on merit.
We didn't have a plan.
But looking at that's a quick one. Looking at this is a tournament, guys. We have to be also fair to unleash the young ladies to go there, or the young girls to go there. This AFCON tournament. It's in some guys who have been there, experience also.
Even in Katongo has got experience. You can't talk about even in Katongo being a young.
That's the mistake we are making. This is a national team. Transition is very important. Yes. Okay. As much as you want the team to qualify and you have these youngsters on the bench, this is a process. So as it now, we've been booted out. Yes, they've got the quarterfinals, monies and bonuses, but as Nora is coming back, this will be a full page for her to start over, because where she came, she just jumped in. So she has to start over.
So what are you trying to say? If I can ask you a question, what are you trying to say? We should let Nora continue?
For now, we've seen one or two.
Where do we place Bruce?
Which positives have we seen?
Listen,
where do you place Bruce? Because I think if Nora has to continue, then definitely Bruce has to be somewhere in the picture.
So you want to let Nora go?
I think sorry, but Bruce comes back on the technical bench also.
Okay, listen, this is what we said. Even when we are firing Blues, we said this is not the way to do it.
Yes.
And Zambia, we've taken it now to be normal. Look at the Chan, how they have changed the coaches. Look at the under 20, how they change the coaches, and now to the national team again. We keep on changing coaches at a critical time. You know.
Forex, can I just be allowed to say one thing?
Yes, okay.
Can I be allowed to say one thing within a
Go
minute?
to Nora.
You know, this is a tournament that we went to play, a very serious tournament.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when you fail to perform well at a tournament, where do you think a nation will take you? You need to be signed definitely.
But away from what
But gentlemen, you also need to look
tomorrow.
at the repercussions of that. I think in the recent past we've seen a
Okay,
situation where
hold your
coaches...
thoughts more. Oliver says, let's go for a short break and then we'll be back on the other side as we listen to Nora Haptu when she gives us the reaction to that loss.
Popangana mobile okwa baku pampaka pakatwika tefechigo utingi shopping nganetibo eba wina lero wonka putwa genda lero papa bullet fikali kopa shilet imwe fikali ifya kutwala kofya lo fya tuletera nechikombe chatulanga nechialo twagenda nechikombe Zambia fikali
Okay, welcome back to Sports with the Boys, our radio listeners. You have now joined us and you can be part of the conversation. We are doing a post-mortem as Zambia versus Nigeria, or our beloved Copper Queens versus the Super Falcons of Nigeria. It was embarrassing yesterday. They were hammered 5-0 to exit the tournament. And the conversation in the studio is hot. Obviously, suggestions from Kennedy just when we went for a break. Should we fire Nora Haptu or should we keep her? What drawing board are we going back to? So you can join the conversation now on +260 2126 17140. But before we continue with this, let's listen to Nora Haptu's reaction after we were beaten 5-0.
Very clear loss from our side in this quarterfinals. So first of all, congratulations to our opposition Nigeria. Very well deserved victory. I think today we need to accept that in all belongings they have been better than us. They have been winning the duels in the offense, winning the duels in the defense, having the control in the air, especially in the offense, also in the defense. They were physical-wise better than us. So for me, yeah, fantastic performance from their side. We need to accept it, congratulate them. I think they will very far, reach very far in this tournament, and we need to accept this.
Okay, so we need to accept the loss. So we are out. So obviously wishing Nigeria all the best. She thinks they can win the trophy. From what you saw, more.
What if it was 5-1? If it was 1-0.
Kennedy, this kind of talk, I know probably maybe Nora's next destination, she's looking at coaching Nigeria at some point. Because look at it, this is how she came in Zambia. She was saying like Zambia's got the best players, but they're not lacking technicalities. Her technicalities are there now. We're being bashed 4 goals to nil. I mean 5 goals to nil. 5 goals to nil. I left at halftime. I couldn't stand watching the second half. So the thing is that look at the many goals that we've conceded. From Morocco, we drew 2-2, conceded 2, right? Came Senegal, we conceded again 2 goals. You see what I mean? Okay, we were lucky not to concede against Congo Democratic Republic, but we do not, okay, let's just face it. Congo, they are not supposed to be, even in the picture to some certain extent, because this is probably maybe when they're getting started in female football and all that. But now this defeat is rather embarrassing for Nora, plus the talent that we have in Zambia. So now, speaking of firing, my stance, if Nora is going to stay, let Fabrice be somewhere in the picture. Let her collaborate with Fabrice. You see what I mean? Because, like you've put it, you cannot throw away a person who has that kind of experience, the years and the accolades that he has gotten, coaching this team, these players. So at the end of the day, this result to me, it was somewhat foreseen. Because like the way it happens, like you're saying it, change is supposed to be gradual. You just don't kick out somebody and then bring in immediately say, okay, this is going to perform.
Here is the thing. It's probably a question of is Coach Bruce Mwape going to accept working under Nora?
I think
maybe that is the biggest question right now. And I think coming to what you guys had suggested to say, maybe we should fire Nora because we've not seen any positives. I think if we compare ball position,
how many games?
How many games? Okay, I think I gave you a chance to
yes. Okay. Yeah.
So if you compare, I think the ball position in terms of how we played against Nigeria in 2022, yeah, and I think how we played yesterday, I think you find that we kind of dominated possession slightly better than the way we did then when we had Coach Bruce Mwape. So at least there seemed to be slightly improvement in terms of ball possession and of course retaining possession.
But ball possession doesn't win matches.
No, I'm pointing at the positives. I'm not saying about winning matches, but I'm pointing at the positives, slight positive that we've seen from Coach Nora. Okay, so that is obviously one of them. And I think if you talk about firing Coach Nora, I think in recent past we've seen the repercussions where some of these coaches have actually taken us to FIFA, and I think we've ended up paying huge sums of money. So probably the question that we should have right now is what sort of what's the picture? Quite right. That's a good suggestion. But again, what I mentioned was.
We said if you bring this coach, let Bruce be.
Taken for advice.
Because they're going to the AFCON. And Zambia says we don't want Chipanda.
I wasn't one of those. I was not
Okay, one person at a time.
I think here, the reason why I asked that question is Coach Bruce Mwape maybe willing to work with under Coach Nora? Is I think if you heard the sentiments, of Coach Nora, the time when I think she was coming in, she mentioned to say. Zambia has got a very good squad, despite they are playing Pante. So she was kind of demeaning Coach Bruce Mwape. Yeah. So now the question right now is Coach Bruce Mwape going to accept working under someone who actually demeaned him right now?
I'm glad you brought up that issue. Okay, I'm glad Mo has brought up that issue. But me, what I'm going to say, at the end of the day, it's about national service. You see what I mean, right? But Bruce has, he just has to put personal issues aside. You see what I mean? He just needs to put personal issues aside and, just accept. Okay, whatever Nora said, actually, yes, it was demeaning and all that. But at the end of the day, national interest is supposed to come first. And Bruce being a Zambian, I think that is what is supposed to just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this because I have passion for this. And I want Zambia to go far in women's football. That's all.
Where I think we messed it up, when our FA decided to get rid of Bruce.
It wasn't done in a proper manner.
It was not done in a proper manner. Because Bruce, as somebody who has been to major tournaments with Zambia, he was supposed to be there maybe as a technical director or something like that. Not that we are employing her. She cannot give us conditions.
No.
So we were going to say that you are going to work with Bruce so that you get acclimatized to the
Exactly.
player. But you guys, we are not the first country to fire a coach when he fails to reach the intended purposes. You see, even some coaches, when they are hired, it's signed in the contract. The moment you don't reach this stage,
performance-based contracts,
definitely you go.
It's too early.
Okay.
Too early for what? We never went there for ball possession.
Let me remind you of something juicy, gentlemen. The time we were changing the technical bench that was headed by Bruce, we changed all the coaches. I think we missed it there. We needed Coach Florence to be part of this Nora's technical bench because we needed continuation.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know, I don't think there were any handover notes between Bruce Mwape and Nora. And how does she carry on? So we needed somebody who worked with.
You know, this is what we have. This is the problem we have in our football today, because the exact same thing that happened there at the women's national team technical bench, everyone being kicked out, is actually what we're seeing even at club level. Case in point, Zesco United, they are doing the same thing. So now, next time around, you're going to see the same results. It's like things keep on repeating themselves. We are not learning. You see what I mean? So at the end of the day, Bruce, I think we're sharing mom to my
If I was Bruce, I can't.
Okay, you are not a patriotic son.
No. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, let's open the phone lines. Let the listeners talk to us. Maybe they have a different view on this one. +260 212617140. That's the number that you can use in case you have your own opinion on this, and my phone is already flashing. Let's pick this one, Oliver. Let's listen to our listeners now. Wino Mavuka Shan. Emkwa Mwavuka wanabanda.
Mwavuka awe. Ikasikia kutubonane weko vya basi. Namuletalika ni tuaba muvika kwaba. Muletalikana sokwenda mavoti. Songa mavoti la coach, mavoti na assistant. Aba bantu bafire bayikatana bale pange kintu. Songa muletalikana uyalande tuyalande. Bola ni inspirani tamule coaching abwino esimple. So tira talikana ngawo twabika pono wine twamba fokula mutungirira no twamba kula leta kama opposite nani kane. Ama opposition ngani shani instead ifintu mubike pamoso pintu tuletungirira na totera for everyone hapo.
Okay, thank you very much Barabanda for coming through. +260 212617140. We are doing a post-mortem Zambia versus Nigeria. Emkwai
Awari wachanda wabunze na mundola.
Okay.
I think nani coach Nora tuwampeke nani good preparation oro prize na time yari tepa ya kumchimisha. Taito waikala sena ngo 6 months up. Kuma 6 months kutazende shabati twalipe na nani over ambitious. Kuto wa mweyazi nani kwani yakuli bafazi zino fili bali mweba ati te time wa mwingisu wakamanga chafira aleta nani cup alifa kabisa wa muleta wabombe pompo la pe pomofe festa wa Bruce mwa para pe ni palia wampera ko be nan position nobody position kutingari kana ya kunvika assistant na wa Bruce mwa pena vero ko vika assistant da wari kana pan period die na ari che per 6 months so futa ma preparation de to ko intesana abone su ba dire kuria ifu eto ali se bunu muzamje kuno ama friendlies kasinge to akwete po bati ari ne fia South Africa yare ne fia so yene yani giro kumalikalomba tawi preko fie ama go yari furisha but I'm going feeling at you kuruta kuti wa rusaromba sima go fie fie afurine aforegi atotera wombe fewu.
Okay, thank you very much. +260 that's the number you can use in case you want to be part and parcel of this conversation. There's another one on the line. Let's talk to this one. Good morning. Hello?
Hello,
okay, you're through to Sports with the Boys. Talk to us.
Okay. Yeah, therefore, I think twice put too much pressure on them. Even the coach wanted him and the players to do wonders to Yeah, I think the pressure was too much back home. That's why, even from the first game, you saw they were rushing. They can't even go in the 18 years box. But they wanted to shoot whenever there's a space. I think there was too much pressure on them. We as fans, we had to put too much pressure on them. And then I think Bruce Mwate, which panty, as long as we were winning, imagine we conceded 9 goals and scoring only 6 goals. We have come back with a negative 3 goals. Definitely, otherwise,
so Nora, tumusunge na ngutuchite jana.
I think Kuba Chinja and which panty as long as we were winning.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, the key point is he gave us results.
Yes.
So
sometimes
he gave us results.
We need to give flowers when people are still in their seats.
Exactly. Thank you.
But when he was in the seat, we never saw the importance of Bruce Mwate. He took us to the World Cup. But he's not coaching. The players, but they take a You get my point? So sometimes in life, especially as Zambians, let's learn to appreciate certain things.
There was actually a time when all of us here used to call for the head of Coach Bruce.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Now we are here again.
According to bring him back. But Bruce, how could he manage?
But again, you also need to look at, I think, the period when Coach Bruce Mwate had to make sure that Ad pushed him up to where it is now. That he had Tikefe within 3 months or within
he was with the team since 2014. 2014.
Yes.
Because these are the girls that used to buy
and results started showing somewhere 2021.
So now you look at this way. I think the time that the change was made to bring in Nora Haptu was wrong timing. Let's just face it. You should have let Bruce go to this AFCON. Maybe after this AFCON, that's when you should have thought about changing, coaches.
So now, are you agreeing to say we should give her time because we haven't really?
How many times are we going to give people time?
But again, you are the same person who's saying the time to say 4.8 because she actually didn't have a lot of time just to assess.
Yes.
So why can't we give her time so that even when she fails, we can say, I think we gave you a lot of time. We gave you ample time.
What I'm trying to say is that if we continue giving time, we will not win. If we continue giving people time, trust me, we will not win trophies. Okay? Because at the end of the day, Harsh was saying, she came in blowing her trumpet. You know what I mean? Probably maybe that's the reason why she was even taken on. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if we're going to say like, okay, let's give her time, then she'll need another how many years? We're talking about from 2014 to last year. We're talking about how many years there with Bruce Mwate. So we should talk about another maybe 6-7 years again. When are we going to win trophies?
How many coaches are you going to change if you are going to say you lose 3 games, you fire a coach and you bring
like we were saying, Morocco has given a target to their coach. It's either you win the trophy or you go.
But what target did we give to coach?
We don't know. She was supposed to win the trophy.
Maybe for it. Yes. You guys, can I just say one thing? We are not the first team that changed from one coach to another. Which other tournament can a Zambian team win apart from AFCON? Can we win World Cup?
Now?
No, we can't win the World Cup. But gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about. Let's try to look at the age group of some of those players that we have actually in that squad. You talk about Rachel Nachula. How old is she?
29.
But that's the job of the coach.
25. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The coach needs time to kind of build. Okay, maybe we can try to get from some of those, maybe from the I don't know, maybe from the under 20s and the likes. But
more, you are missing the point. I'm sorry, I get where you are trying to go, but the point is, okay, let's pick this score, Oliver. Then I'll put my thought across. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you? Who are we talking to?
We are talking to Mr. Shilanda. I'm calling you from Chingola.
Okay. Quickly, give us your thoughts.
The gentleman hosting the program, what's your name?
Four Legs.
Yes, Colin, the problem you guys, when you are hosting, give people to talk, the people you've brought in the studio. It's not your job. Your job is to get the insight, ask questions. But again, look what you've said. You said it was a wrong timing for Bruce to go and bring whoever the new coach is. But again, at the same time, you are saying, no, how many times are we going to give chances? You're conflicting things. That's why you make mistakes when you talk, when it's not you to talk. Ask questions, get the insight, and give people the chance to talk. Yes, the game was good. Our players were tired. We really needed more than we deserved in that game. It was too much for us. And there are a lot of things that need to be done. We need a chance for the new coach. She needs more time to prepare and probably get new players on board. So please give people to talk. The people you brought there, you are hosting, allow them to talk. It's not you to be talking.
This is when you started. I'm sure this is when you started listening to the show, because I've been in the background. The people that are talking are the ones I'm telling, one person at a time. So
don't be defensive. I want you to get my point and get it, understand it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, football is a game of emotions. Let's just face it like that. Okay. Yeah, please, Mo, carry on.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say is, before the score came in, I wanted to tell you more that you are, what was the exact point? You are trying to say she has own age.
Yeah. So she needs to find the players who are probably going to fit in. And I think that is not something that can just happen within 2 months or so. Okay? Because right now, if you look at some of the players, I think, in that squad, I think it's us here who said some of those players in that squad needs to go.
Yes, exactly.
That simply means we need to start building players who should obviously come and take over from those players that were saying they need to go, to pave way for those players. And I think that is a process, and it needs time. They need to be fine-tuned so that even when we take them at the AFCON or the Olympics or World Cup, they'll be at their level best.
Okay, I understand your thoughts. Now, here is my question to you. Let's look at Bruce. And we've spoken about how long he was with that particular team. He built the chemistry with that particular team, and he left players in that team that could have helped us in yesterday's game. I gave you examples. We had defender Pauline Zulu. After Elizabeth Musesi, we started using Pauline because she was better with the ball. She was stronger. She has not played a single game at this tournament. The question is why.
Meanwhile, goals keep on going.
And then you have players like Everin Katongo. She was one of our best midfielders. Not only at the previous WAFCON, but even with time, even at the Olympics, she's gained enough experience. And then you let her sit on the bench for too long. The question is why?
So here is the thing. Obviously, when the coach is appointed, the coach comes in with her own or his own system. And he or she comes in with his or her own preference of players who can fit in his or her system. That's one thing that we need to understand. That's why you have seen Rachel dropping back, because the coach doesn't want but she wants to start building play from the back. It graduates into the midfield. So she needs players who are going to be comfortable on the ball. That is again one thing that
do you know another coach who used that system and it worked well? Coach Florence, when we went to COSAF, we played that type of game. I remember you and Pedro were here on this platform, and we even looked at why Bruce doesn't use that system if it worked better at the COSAFA. Remember when we lost to Malawi in the final?
Yeah, I do remember. So right now I'm giving you a scenario of Coach Nora. So we've moved on from Coach Bruce because we know Coach Bruce had his own tactics. And now we're talking about Coach Nora. So Coach Nora wants players who are going to fit in her system. Players who are going to be comfortable on the ball. Players who are not going just to kick the ball here and there. But she wants to build play from the back. It goes into the midfield and it graduates going into the attacking
but let me remind you of something.
Maybe that's why we are not able to see some players being given a chance.
I think we can weigh in on this one now. Yes.
Just hold on. Let me remind Mo. You told us that this Maluba girl is a defensive midfielder. This, but she was dropped. She was playing as number 4. So, if that is what Nora wants, then she was misplaced.
Yes. Yes.
And that's why we couldn't get the best out of her.
Okay, so yes, she was misplaced, quite alright. And she's not the only player who was misplaced. There is her, there is Natura, okay? I think I had mentioned these players, I think, when we just started. But then, get the points that I'm trying to say. Maybe the reason why she's misplacing some of those players is because she feels, I think, those 2 players that you have mentioned are not the only players who have been misplaced. I think even with the men's national team, we have seen a situation where someone is dropped in deep to help, because maybe the coach feels if this one does this, maybe she has
So okay,
abilities and
if I can weigh in on this, if I can weigh in on this one more, and Folex, you know, we've seen a situation where players have been moved from their actual positions to play different positions. But in actual sense, let's just be realistic. How many times has that worked out? Because players come out complaining, and that's what I'm saying. Why should we? Okay, now at this stage, is it a stage to be gambling? Because at the end of the day, we've seen situations. No, we cannot come at the tournament.
It works. Even Suze was a strike.
Yes.
So it works, but then it's supposed to be done gradually.
Yes,
it's supposed to be a gradual process, not at a tournament. Because at the end of the day, when you come back,
So
that is the
when
thing.
you come back, you find that the reason why a player could come and complain, no, I did not perform well in that position, because why? That's not my natural position. That position was impossible.
I totally agree with you. The problem probably that Coach Noah did was experimenting at the tournament, yes. But this maybe could have done during when we had those friendly games, but not at the tournament like that one.
212617140. That's a point I wanted you to get. Now you get it.
No.
She experimented at the wrong time. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Oliver, let's pick this one. Good morning.
Hello, morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Yes, this is the Kawana Bellington calling from within Ndola.
Okay, Kawana, go ahead.
Yes, my take on the football took place yesterday. One, I would say Nora must not go because it's just too early for her. Then from there, with that type of defense, you will never expect Zambia to win in whichever game. Even from the first 2 games we played, we were told of the defense to say if we are going to meet an intelligent striking force, we are going to lose by a larger margin. It happened yesterday. Then the issue of Nora to say she was experimenting at the tournament, it's because it's just too early for her. You understand? So let her have some good time to see who should fit in there, who shouldn't fit in there. Then the other thing that I saw wrong was the system that Nora employed. Not even at one time in Zambia I've ever seen Zambia playing 4-2-3-1. No, we've 2 traditional systems in Zambia: 4-4-2 and 4-3-3. So by employing that system, Nora had eliminated 4 players. He declared 4 players redundant.
Exactly.
There's 3. The Grace Tanda, Chilufia, and this one who plays in America. They all scored against Senegal. Rachel. And one of the 2 anchoring midfielders were all eliminated. Because those 2 anchoring midfielders stood square. So one pass was just beating those 2 people. It reached the defense. Exactly. So that's my take anyway, but for her to have to be given time. Let her exploit herself. Thank you very much.
I'm glad that you could read the game. No, he has the mind to read the game, which is correct. So now it comes back to my point. She was experimenting at the wrong time. Even the tactics were experimental.
I think that we have agreed. But the debate was firing the coach. The debate was firing the coach.
I just want to
okay, quickly then.
When he was saying it's time to let go players go. Where? We want transition of this. It has started. We made the mistake at the 2012 winning team. We were backward. They were not the notice. Shan, bring and we lost it out. So we should learn again to this. It should be gradual as we are going.
If you got my point, I said as we are letting go of these players that we're saying they have to go. we need to start grooming players who should come and take over. That's what I said.
Okay.
Not that we let them go right now, but
Okay.
it should be a gradual process.
Okay, it has been a hot conversation in here today, obviously, as we have been doing the post-mortem of Zambia's loss to Nigeria. It was bad. They are out of the tournament. Their next stop, they will be looking to qualify to the next Women Africa Cup of Nations, and qualifiers begin in October, by the way. Our first opponent is Namibia. Let's hope we'll be prepared by then.
Yeah, Southern Africa is not so much of a problem for them. Yeah.
So this is where we come to the close of this edition of Sports with the Boys. Please join us next week with another informative and exciting edition. On behalf of the boys in the studio, I've been your host. My name is Lamek Zulu, professionally known as Four Legs, saying continue enjoying our program. We are out for now. Bye-bye.